Hey guys, this is Justin. Hello and welcome to another video. Wasn't planning on uploading today. For those of you who don't know, I'm kind of on new baby leave. I don't have much time to work, but I was actually doing a brief stream yesterday and I came across this really funny Star Wars Legends list that I thought I would talk about briefly with you guys, just because it is so silly and fun, and no negativity here, just thought it was worth chatting about a little bit. So this is from tiermaker.com. Basically, as the name would suggest, you make tier lists of whatever you want, and this is the cumulative results of 14 different tier lists. So a very small sample size, but I just thought the result was very, very funny. Starting off, I mean, this Abeloth art, that's actually art that I commissioned. You'll see that in thumbnails across YouTube, including my own. You'll see that anytime you search Abeloth. That's actually some art that I commissioned from a very talented artist named Marietta Ivanova. But yeah, just a great piece of art. You've probably seen me throw in my videos a million times. But yeah, this is a very interesting list. And just right off the bat, a few things that I noticed. The beings from Talatni Throws a Shape. These are literally capable of moving space and time. They send one stormtrooper back through time. They can revive the dead. S tier. Simple S tier. Who are the less powerful then? Well, Count Dooku, for example. That's just kind of one funny example. And I think for me, the Darth Vader thing has always been a bit weird. Like, Darth Vader at the unrivaled level. He's one of the most powerful beings, according to this, of all time. Powerful on an equal level as the literal Force priestesses from the Clone Wars, from Grandmaster Luke Skywalker of Star Wars Legends, and even the reborn Palpatine, who kind of looks like, I don't know if he looks like maybe David Bowie, but I don't know. I always feel like Darth Vader's power is somewhat overstated a little bit. Maybe I'm unique in feeling that way, but to me, Darth Vader didn't quite earn the same level of Grandmaster, even Grandmaster Luke Skywalker, arguably. He's nowhere near God level. Like this is the father. He's like a force being in the universe, and Darth Vader is apparently 2 levels above him. A lot of this list is kind of just how cool each individual creature is, or each individual fighter. Like, I mean, obviously this picture of Darth Revan where he's got 2 lightsabers, how could that not be at least triple S tier? But on that note, Abeloth, one of the most singularly powerful beings in the Star Wars universe, and with my beautiful art, right there, double S tier. I don't know. She should be at unrivaled tier, at the very least. She's pretty much unkillable. People have not read Fate of the Jedi. I think most knowledge about Abeloth simply comes from YouTube videos, which are essentially restated Wikipedia articles. And again, like, what are the sister and the brother doing at S tier? Like, you're telling me that the sister and the brother could only maybe take General Grievous in a fight? Same with Vitiate. Like, Vitiate is maybe going to be able to take General Grievous on if he's got a really good day. I don't know. There's one thing I also noticed about this list that's quite funny is a lot of repeats. Like, we've got Darth Bane here in his later armor. I think Bane is also... Oh yeah, there he is right here. He's a B tier here, having a bad day. Yaddle, C tier. Sure. Just the more you look, the funnier it gets. Like, I think this is Jason. I'm not sure, but I think this is Jason, and he's F tier. Like, same with Tenel Ka. Tenel Ka is apparently equally as unpowerful as Teneniel Joe, her mother, despite the fact that she's like a Jedi Force princess. And then Darth Vader without his helmet on, just an absolute bum. Again, Kirk Canos losing in Ben Skywalker losing to unnamed Imperial Guard. I don't know. And like, this is just a joiner. Like, this is just the Killix. Like, I don't know how that goes in at C power level. That's actually specifically what's his name, but at C power level, I don't know. And Dirge, for me in Star Wars, like, I don't like talking about power levels, but if you're going to do it, you need to make a distinction between Jedi and non-Jedi, because if not, you can just force grab a guy most of the time. There are some exceptions to this, like Dirge is a league above Cad Bane when it comes to pure fighting ability, but even Cad Bane, like, he put up a pretty good fight against Jedi. We see that in the Clone Wars all the time. But like, let's just scroll through. Like, Bo-Katan, I don't know. Is Bo-Katan really similar level of power as these two versions of Anakin Skywalker and this crappy image of Abeloth? I guess you'll be the decider of that. Like, I do think a big part of this list probably comes down to how well known is this character and how many times have they appeared on this list. Like, sure, no wonder Kenobi right here is in D. He appears on the list like 8 different times, and like, I don't even know who this guy is. Like, that's like Palpatine's self-portrait. You know, like, you see those like artists with dementia portraits and they get worse and worse. Like, this is like Palpatine really struggling with his self-image. Like, this is emo Luke Skywalker. He's E tier. Like, I understand why emo Luke Skywalker or like Yoda evil concept art thumbnail edition is an E, because they don't really exist. But like Kirk Canos, he shouldn't be here. I think this is Jason again. He shouldn't be here. And like, the same is true when you look at all of these ancient Sith Lords. Like, this right here is, I think Naga Sadow, and chances are people doing the list simply didn't know who that is, so they kind of just tossed him down at the end. Totally get that. But then it's like, you also just scroll up and Nomi Sunrider and Even Peel are right next to each other. And I just, perhaps, is this, I don't know if this is Winter, like, like Leia's personal friend. Like, these are crystals. I'm pretty sure these are like one of the crystals in the Hell Hoop, like with the demon inside of it. Like, this list just this is Exar Kun. Like, I know that because I always thought he looked a lot like Darth Vader. And like, this is Jason in his like unifying force. Like, he should be up at unrivaled tier. Like, if I were going to make this list and kind of think about where I consider characters to be, you've got to look at like the ones who traverse beyond the pure flesh. Like, arguably, you have these Force Priestesses. I remember them. They're like 2 episodes of the Clone Wars. Do they really count? I don't remember. They could have just been Yoda's vision. Toss this up there. The Bedlam Spirits from Telotny Throws a Shape. Toss them up there. Abeloth, yeah. Throw her up, and then the rest of the ones. Sure. But like, and then when you go down to the next level, you have like the ultimate forces of good and evil from their faction. So you could say in the triple S tier, Palpatine, sure. Although I would argue that Reborn Palpatine, he kind of sucked in that he killed himself more than like anybody else. Like, at the end of Dark Empire 1, he literally just throws a storm onto himself, and KC is out of existence. So, but still, he's extremely powerful. Same with Grandmaster Luke Skywalker. I think if you were going to talk about like overall potential, then where's Anakin Solo? He's here somewhere. I think you put Anakin Solo up there too. He was imagined to be perhaps the most powerful of the Jedi, but like, a lot of the entries on this list are kind of just difficult to compare. Like, could Obi-Wan Kenobi take on Ki-Adi-Mundi? Like, yeah, most of the time, but I mean, like, if Ki-Adi-Mundi has a really good day, then maybe he wins. So I say, if you're looking at all of these force wielders, the way I would probably just do it is if they're the top tier in their respective orders. Like Darth Krayt, sure, he's probably like an S or a double S tier. Mace Windu, yeah, he's probably up there as well. But like, if you talk about Darth Plagueis, he's powerful in his knowledge of the Force, but he's not an amazing combatant. Like, he's good. You see him fighting in Plagueis, but I don't see him as like being equal in hand-to-hand combat with like Anakin Skywalker on Mustafar, for example. Like, some of the Sith were just nerds. Like, some of them wanted to compute their way through like Sith computers to victory, which is, you know, admirable in a way. But like, also Darth Nihilus, like, you telling me like Darth Nihilus is going to lose in a battle? The General Grievous one, General Grievous has got to be in terms of characters and their power levels, although I think it's generally kind of a useless exercise. Well, it's fun, but it's ultimately a useless exercise because that's not how Star Wars is meant to work. There are some characters who are consistently overrated, and I think that this S tier is a really great example of this. For me personally, Darth Bane, I think he's overrated in that people ascribe so much power to him because we've got 3 books which are written like an RPG guide or like a role-playing game itself. I think he's overrated. I think Obi-Wan is somewhat overrated. I think Obi-Wan gets a big case of main character syndrome, where like the Revenge of the Sith novelization and arguably some other materials make him more prominent of a Jedi than he actually was. Like, I think he wins against Anakin because he's got his head and his wits about him. He's a phenomenal Jedi, one of the best of the age. He's a master, but like, I don't think he's one of the most powerful combatants of all time. But I could see the argument. For Darth Maul, though, and Grievous, these guys consistently overrated, in my opinion. Maul especially. Like, I prefer the Star Wars Legends approach to Maul, where he's kind of seen as an attack animal by Palpatine. His status of true Sith is sort of, at least during the Clone Wars, or the pre-Clone Wars era, up for debate. Things changed a little bit during the Clone Wars itself, but even in canon, like, he's not elevated to this role of, you know, the elite of the elite fighters of all time. Yes, he does fight Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon Jinn. I honestly think that's mostly just through the power of anger and the fact that they were so surprised to see him, but like, I don't think he's an all-time great in the Star Wars universe. Like, I don't think he should be standing next to this really small version of Vitiate. Like, Jarek, B tier? I don't know, I'd maybe bump him up to an A. Kyle Katarn? I like the character, so like, if I were doing the list, I'd probably bump him up to an A. Like, Savage, like, what does he really do? Probably bump him down a little bit. Overall, though, a very fun exercise. This is the worst one. Corran Horn in the D tier. It's not a good I never liked this illustration of Corran, but I mean, he's got to be up. Corran Horn is one of the most powerful Jedi of Luke's order. Like, he doesn't have telekinesis, but he's not getting his butt whipped by an S tier Darth Maul, in my opinion. But that's all. I just kind of wanted to pop on for a little video. This list is super funny. I recognize a lot of the characters, but like the Nomenor, I think that's Nomenor. It's one of the Yuuzhan Vong. This is the one that Corran Horn battles on. Is it Ithor? Can't remember the name of that one. But oh, and this is what's her name, the Twi'lek that Troy Denning loves so much, Ali Marar. That's all for me. I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.